Hello, everybody. Hey, I don't know when you're watching this, so I don't know if I should say good morning or good afternoon, but I think I figured out a way so there are no hiccups for those of us that are learning at home. Um, you can pause this video and then go to get more math and do more problems, but we're going to continue on with our study of unit rates, ratios, and proportions, and it's all kind of coming together today. So that's our learning target for today's lesson. Students will continue their work with proportions and solving proportional real-world context problems. So I have a couple of examples here in this slide and I will show the work. And I've also attached a PDF of these same slides if you have printing capabilities at home and can print, and then maybe you can take your notes as the video goes on. For your own copy, so you don't have to keep this video open and pausing and referring back to it if you need any help. The first type of problem you're going to be working through is we're dealing with ratios, and I want to remind you guys of what ratios look like, how we write ratios. You may be confused because I keep writing ratios where they look like fractions, and I need to be careful with that, but I'll try to remember. It's just easier for me to write ratios so they look like fractions when we start setting up our proportions. Okay, so here we go. Express the following ratio in simplest form. Okay, so here's our ratio, 52 to 28. That's how you read it to yourself when you're, or to yourself or to out loud. It's 52 to 28. This ratio is not in simplest form for this reason. It is they're both even, and it's this writing a ratio in simplest form is exactly the same as reducing a fraction. Okay, and some other things that we have been doing is we have been talking about factor puzzles, and in our factor puzzles, they were made up of two rows. Well, you could look at the top row of your factor puzzle as a ratio. Okay, you could look at it this way. We have a ratio of 52 to 28, and writing it in simplest form, what you're looking for is a greatest common factor of that row in your factor puzzle. And they're both even, so they're both the two, I believe, the greatest common factor of 52 and 28. I'm going to have to do this a couple of times, but just a reminder, you guys can use calculators for this too. But I have to think of, on my scratch paper, I'm going to think, well, that's even, so that's 2 times 26. And let's see here. This is something you guys may have not been taught, but it's 2 times 13. So there's that. And I think the greatest common factor is going to be 4. Yeah, it's going to be 4. So the greatest common factor of 52 and 28 is 4. Again, you can use your calculators or a multiplication chart if that's what works for you. And then working from the inside out of our ratio, 52 divided by 4 is 13. And 28 divided by 4 is 7. Now, but notice it says expressing the following ratio in simplest form. What is important about ratios, the order of the ratio is not interchangeable. So this is my ratio in simplest form. And if I complete this little puzzle here, it kind of looks like a factor puzzle. So this could be a missing number. This is all kind of just trying to connect what we've been doing to what we are doing now in today's problems. So my ratio in simplest form is this answer right here, 13 to 7. And in our previous lessons, that 13 or 7, if we look at it, the greatest common factor for 13 to 7 is 1. Therefore, from our previous lessons, this is also the basic ratio. So when we talked about the basic ratio, the first row in our ratio tables, that was also one of the ratios further down the table in simplest form. So it's all kind of coming together here. Okay, here's another example. Express the ratio in simplest form. That's similar to reducing. Some of you, maybe it's easier if you look at it this way. If you want to write it so it looks like a fraction, you would write it in the order 8 to 28. And maybe some of you go, oh, reducing it is dividing by the same number, both of them. Okay. And then in reduced form is 2 to 7. And the greatest common factor of 2 and 7 is 1, so I believe that is in simplest form. Get More Math will accept your answer, your ratio, in any form. I believe it. I know for sure that it'll accept it like this, and it will accept it like this. I have not tested it out if it'll accept it like this. If anybody wants to take a chance and not get a smiley face right away, give it a shot, see what happens. But I know that I've seen correct answers answered in both types of form. Here's another example, 44 to 20. I like you know, kind of tying in our factor puzzle. We're looking for, it's just one row of a factor puzzle. We're looking for the greatest common factor. And I believe that that is 2 doesn't work, 3 doesn't work. 4, oh, 4 works. I think it's going to be 4. So working from the inside out, dividing that out, 44 divided by 4 is 11. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And yep, the greatest common factor of 11 and 5 is 1. So 11 to 5 is my ratio in simplest form. You could also enter it, so 11 to 5, as long as the order remains the same, so it matches up. Okay, let's see, what else do I have for examples today? Oh, there's another one. I'm going to skip that one. I think 3 examples is enough. I didn't realize I put so many examples in there. Which of these ratios is not equivalent to the others? Okay, so a couple of strategies here. You could arrange them. You know, you could look at this as a ratio table, like we did in our first couple of units. You could look at it like that and see if there's a consistent pattern. You could find the basic ratio, you know, and I'm going to pick this row that has 1 and the greatest common factor is 1. So that, and then the other one is 2 because 1 is the first number. And that means going from 1 to 5, I have to multiply by 5. So that works. And I have to multiply this one by 5. That tests out. So far that row checks and that matches this one. And let's see, going back up to my basic ratio here, 1 times 3 is 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. So let me change a different color here so I can put what I'm thinking in my head into words. So checking out this row, I would go back to my basic ratio up on top. 1 times 3 is 3. That means I have to do the same thing to the other column. 2 times 3 is 6. That doesn't check. So far that row doesn't work. But just for good measure, let's check out the fourth and final row and see what's going on there. We have 1 times 4 is 4. Does 2 times 4 equal 8? Yes, it does. So I kind of drew all over the answer key. So you would put an X in this box because this ratio of 3 to 4 is not equivalent to any of the other 3 ratios. That's my hint for those types of questions. Determine the missing term to make these ratios equal. So they tell you it's equal, so you have a couple of options here. You can pick the one that works for you. You can write this as a factor puzzle, but make sure that your ratios, you just kind of write one on top of the other. So you can go 7 to 3, and then this second ratio can go right underneath in the same order. Okay, and if it helps, you can draw in the factor box, you know, puzzle boxes. Okay, and now you can go ahead and solve. Find the greatest common factor. of the row with two numbers, and that happens to be 1. So this missing factor outside is 7. This one is 3. Working from the inside out, 56 divided by 7 is 8. 8 times 3, the missing number is 24. So you would type that in. Another option is to look at it as equivalent ratios as equivalent fractions, and maybe finding equivalent fractions was really easy for you. Equivalent ratios work the same way as equivalent fractions as long as you set it up. So if you write your ratio 7 to 3, 7 to look like a fraction, A over B, then your equivalent fraction needs to be set up in the same order. 7 was first and it went on top. 56 is first. It also has to be the top part in our ratio, in our proportion, and we are trying to find this missing number. And some of you caught on to this really quickly in our fraction study. What number times 7 equals 56? And that was 8. So then 3 times 8 is 24. So either strategy will prove successful, and both methods are correct in their reasoning and their proof. You pick the one that works best for you. I taught some of my students today in math skills about crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. That starts out like this. It's a part of a cross product solution. We watched a Math Antics video, and we watched the Alla Schmoop with the chimps and the bananas. Okay, you set up your proportion. By definition, a proportion is two equivalent ratios. And because you can use a calculator, crisscross multiply. Crisscross multiply is where you multiply the given diagonals to you. So I don't have another factor here to multiply, so my crisscross multiply. So I'd grab my calculator and I'd enter 56 times 3. Don't hit equals, and then divide by this lonely guy, and this guy is considered, quote, lonely because he doesn't have a cross factor to multiply with. So then on your calculator would divide by 7 and then hit equals. And if you do that on your calculator, 56 times 3 divided by 7, you'll get 24. This is a quick and easy way to do it instead of finding a greatest common factor or solving a factor puzzle. But if this is confusing and this is not, use one of those other options for solving. Let's see here. Determine the missing term to make these ratios equal. Again, you can set it up as a factor puzzle, but make sure you copy your rows in order. So we have a missing number compared to 5, and then this row just kind of slides underneath as the same as 63 to 45. If you like factor puzzles, oh, I'm so sorry for the bells, but if you like factor puzzles, you can, on your scratch paper, you can draw out, okay, find the greatest common factor, and then this would be 1, 7 times 1, so the missing number is 7. And let's see if I have any more examples for today. I do, but my recording time limit is quickly approaching, so I do have a second video of examples for your questions that you need to practice for today. It shouldn't take very long because I just have 2 examples left, but I am running out of time in my recorded message. Sorry.